Is this the best lathe parting tool for the home shop in 2025? Let's find out. Hi, I'm Mark and welcome back to the shed. The other day I was on the lathe trying to do some parting with this particular parting tool here. Now I've had success with this in the past, but when the stuff I was trying to do was steel and I really had some problems. This is the tool that I had in a set and I put it in the lathe and I was really surprised at the results I got. I cut through this piece of steel like butter and absolutely brilliant. We'll show you how that works next. Right, we've got our cold rolled piece of mild steel in the lathe chuck. It's 10-20 bar, 27 mil diameter. And I'll just give you an example of how this thing just chews through this stuff like you wouldn't believe. I'm going to be running some coolant. I'll be running at 460 RPM and I'll be feeding it in manually. As you can see, the chips are coming off beautifully, there's no vibration, and we're just walking through this like there's no tomorrow. Getting in towards the middle now, about to cut off. Done, just like that. Now more than likely, if you search for this tool on the internet, I'll leave a description below. It will probably say it's a grooving tool, and it probably is. Parting, grooving, very similar operations, or almost exactly the same, one would argue. However, how deep can we go with this? Okay, so it's at its maximum, it's just over 20 mil. So you could have a 40 millimeter piece of steel in here, or 40 millimeter piece of whatever, bronze or something like that, and it would chew through it like there's no tomorrow. I've got a piece of bronze here that I was using on the steamroller, and if I had this in the lathe, I could easily part this off without any problems. It's only about 10 millimeters thick in terms of wall thickness. Fine. While we're set up in the lathe, we'll make some spaces for the milling vise that I did in a that I rectified a problem with in the previous video. So we'll have a look at that. This is 17 millimeters long. So we'll just pop it back in the lathe here. I'll change tooling. And we'll just take a light clean-up cut across the face. Just use the tool to do that. There we go. And then we'll center drill and drill. The tool was a little bit below center. I've since corrected that, so any future parts that I do will not leave a little tit, so to speak. So we'll drill a hole, a couple of holes. Bit of a different camera angle now. We're looking overhead. Got our magic bit of board set up on the lathe here that the camera is standing on. And we'll run our center drill and then we'll put our 2 drills through. Our next step is the 4 millimeter drill. and then we'll swap over to our 12.5mm drill for the clearance of the 12mm stud. Righto, we've now stepped up to our 12.5mm clearance drill. We'll run that through, take the burrs off, and that'll be done. I will have to make a second one of these, but of course I'll do that off camera. It's only going to be the repeat of the same thing. There we have it. We'll get our drill out the way so I can take the burrs off. Probably a little bit too much coolant, but anyway, you get that on the big jobs. Set the camera up back down on the bench, going for a nice just wide angle shot. Nice big chamfer radius with our chamfering tool, radius tool here. We'll turn that around and finish it off. Just like that, our job is done. Just get the swarf out of there. I'll just give that a bit of a buff over here on the old linisher. Slight little burr on this material here where I grabbed it with the vice grip, so we'll just run that off. Perfect, all nicely done. We'll have a look where this is going to go on the milling vise. Well, here we are on the milling vise, and you can see that's just going to sit like so. If I need to take any height off it, I will, but at this stage, that'll be the perfect height. Thanks everyone for watching. That's it for this video. Don't forget, that's the tool we've been using. Fantastic little tool. If you haven't got one, grab one. They're cheap enough. And Thursday nights, live stream from the shed here. See what's been going on. See you in the next one. Bye for now.